Alright, me darlings. Well, it's that time of year again, so do we need to waste time with introducing this video?
How about explaining why this video is in November and not October?
I got caught up collecting donations for my local Halloween bonfire parade. Is it so unbelievable that I use my persuasive charms to help others for a change?
Frankly, yes. But you love to hear the sound of your own voice, so that works for you.
Hi Kettle, name's Pot.
Indeed you are a pot. You're massive and ugly, and I'm smaller, stylish, and cute, like a kettle.
Whatever, let's just get into this. Unintentionally Scary 6. So this first one came to me pretty obviously since the character is now having some greater relevance in the modern day, and quite frankly I'm amazed I've not talked about him before, with his grating voice, his soulless dead eyes and weird teeth. Can you guess who it is?
Jeremy Clarkson?
Not a bad guess, but no. Though given the species of this character, he's probably just as old as him. No, I'm talking about Barney the dinosaur.
This ain't little T-Rex!
Barney is a dinosaur from our imagination, and when he's tall, he's what we call a dinosaur sensation.
Oh yes, the bane of every person in the 90s over the age of 5. We mock Barney for being annoying, pandering, and the fact that his suit actor now owns a tantric sex farm. No, I am not kidding, and I think most people know about that now, so let's not dwell on it.
Aww.
And it seems like the more we hear it, the sillier it gets.
But something we often overlook is just how creepy this guy looks. The fact that his eyes make him look like he's constantly stoned or coming round from an operation is bad enough, but his weird rugby gum shield teeth are really off-putting. I mean, giving him teeth alone is a weird choice, though given the fact that he's a T-Rex, I guess it could have been worse. His weird lifeless features just make him look like he's not really present. I don't feel like I'm looking at a living thing. I feel like I'm looking at some sort of animatronic from Chuck E. Cheese knockoff who went Five Nights at Freddy's and is planning to eat these kids. Though he's taking his sweet damn time, even Pennywise is telling him to get a move on and eat those brats.
When at the table, what to do?
What's all the more galling is the fact that the other characters on the show are designed fine. They look good, and while they still lack facial movement, you get the feeling they are alive. I guess Barney was just the prototype in Dr. Hammond's experiments and he just kept him around even after they perfected the process, but Hammond just didn't have the heart to kill him.
Wouldn't be a problem with me. Give me a goat on a rope and a cricket bat, and he'll be back in the ground with his ancestors before you know it.
I don't doubt it. In fact, I'd be willing to let you take that contract. As I mentioned before, Barney has become much more relevant as of late due to him getting rebooted. And in all honesty, he looks way better. His eyes are larger and more expressive, his mouth is wider and more fluid. It's a much better design, and I'm sure his voice is still annoying.
I may not have ears, but right now, I'm all ears.
Yeah, it is. But I'd say it's still better. Instead of sounding like a person you keep your kids away from, now it just sounds like a rip-off Patrick Starfish. But still, I'll take the CGI Thunder Lizard over this Drizzle Dino any day. Actually, calling him that does sound bad given what his suit actor gets up to these days.
That sounds like a very good thing to do, BJ.
Either way, Barney must have been the first character that one generation grew to love, but to me, and a lot of others, he'll always be the same weird purple freak with the voice of a child molester and the eyes of a sociopath.
I'll always remember him from the mocking of his theme song that you told me you used to sing as a kid.
Please don't remind me.
Barney is a dinosaur made of imagination. He stuck his finger up his bum and died of constipation.
How I got to be a stand-up when I started with jokes like that, I'll never know. But then again, The Simpsons did start off with terrible jokes as well.
And now you look like Homer Simpson.
Nothing wrong with that. He's got a hot wife and he's always called handsome.
Oh, so you're nothing like Homer then.
Shut up. So, now we get into some fan suggestions, and from the last video we did, I got suggestions for something called Dirt Girl World.
Only the second thing we're looking at today, and they both feel like something that'll get us on a list for looking at them.
No kidding. But I thought I'd check it out. I thought, how bad could this be?
Going outside, there's adventure waiting out
Turns out very. Who the hell came up with this idea? It's like you took the awful animation of Angela Anaconda and mixed it with the terrible effects of the annoying orange, and somehow the end result was 1,000,000 times worse than you could have possibly imagined. I could talk about every scary little detail for ages, but I just want to focus on one thing. What is going on with the eyes? Why are her eyes so far apart? It looks like someone was making a custom character in Fallout and the eye distance slider got stuck.
I've seen birds and fish with eyes closer together than that.
It doesn't help that it looks like they went full-on Instagram model and had their actress look into a ring light while filming her, so it looks like the portal to hell is opening in her eyes. What sucks is that something like this isn't inherently a terrible idea. Back when I was a kid, I remember the CBBC's Funky Fable show, and while that looked weird too, it worked, and it was a decent show, and the faces they used here were literally just kids online sending in pictures of their faces to be in the TV show, and they still look better than whatever the hell this thing is. This just looks like what the characters in Funky Fables have nightmares about. Also, this show is about teaching kids the importance and greatness of nature and the garden, which, if I was a kid watching this, I want to go outside and burn every blade of grass and wild animal I find.
No, you can't burn my friends.
Your friends?
Well, okay, food, but I prefer them rare, not too tough.
Then go to KFC. CBeebies have always had weird and experimental stuff. Some have worked, some haven't, but this experiment needed to be sterilized and immolated from the world the second it was conceived.
Sounds like what the doctors said about me when I was born, but I showed them.
Yeah, being the mascot of a struggling YouTube channel is the ultimate proof of your skills, isn't it?
I could always leave and go work for someone else.
You can't do better.
Just you wait.
Now here's a big requested one we've had for a while. You may remember a long time ago I talked about the educational TV series Cubies and how I said the characters look really creepy in it. Well, I think I may have found the one thing that can top them. The Numberjacks. As if math wasn't scary enough.
It was only scary to you because you sucked at it.
I ain't never been one for book learning.
You'll fit right at home in the sticks in Canada next year then.
So what are the Numberjacks? They're a group of sentient numbers that live in a sofa, one that I'll be taking to burn on a bonfire, who go out into the real world and help people with problems. The only way numbers could help me is if they added a few extra zeros to the end of my bank balance.
You'd probably need to add a 1 at the front too, otherwise you'd still be broke.
Beyond that, it's a typical mid-2000s educational kids show with horrifying CG designs, and all of which are voiced by children, which just makes it even more unsettling.
Okay, who wants to go?
Me!
It's a train, though.
So?
It's like the worst element of Teletubbies, Cubies, and JJ the Jet Plane combined.
They multiplied the terror and made me subtract my sanity.
And made me add something to my pants. I'm glad shows like this aren't really around as much anymore, though granted kids don't really watch TV now, they go to YouTube for their entertainment, which considering that they provide you with things that look like this now...
Itsy bitsy spider climbs so high, past the clouds into the sky.
You could argue that's worse.
What do you think AI stands for? Abomination Incorporated?
Wouldn't be surprised if it did. So for this entry we're doing something a bit different. A video game. Well, 2 of them. There are video games out there that are supposed to be scary, and some that try but just end up making people horny.
Ooh, I wouldn't mind taking a nap in those.
Given that she's undead, it'd be a very cold night's sleep.
I'm a fox, it's what I'm used to.
And sleeping in your own filth, which I doubt Lady Vampire Jugs would appreciate.
Oh, I don't know about that.
But in any case, there are a few video games that are not trying to be creepy, but end up being so, mostly from the mid to late 90s when they started to first experiment with rendered 3D graphics, and couldn't quite get it to look right. There was Wild Woody, one of the last games on the Sega CD, which kinda speaks for itself, and the infamous Bubsy 3D. But for me, the king of these is the game that comes with the king of the video games himself in it, Super Mario. Something that isn't quite as well known now is that back during the console wars between Sega and Nintendo, the Mario IP was actually licensed out to several developers to make more games with the character to increase his presence, but they had very little involvement from Nintendo themselves. Today they would never let this happen. Nintendo is super protective of their Italian sugar daddy.
Like a mafia wife.
Exactly. But back when Nintendo was barely 10 years into the video game industry, they were trying anything and everything to get ahead of Sega. anger, often without time to think about what they were doing. This led to the also infamous Hotel Mario, which everyone knows about by now, or at least the cutscenes. But there were also a large amount of educational games starring Mario that came out on the PC around that time too, and one of the most famous being Mario Teaches Typing.
A game that you probably should have played more often given the amount of spelling mistakes that are in your script for these videos.
Oh come on, they're not that bad.
Oh, Tess, hey, oh!
What? Well, in any case, the game actually did have a sequel, and, well, let's just say the developers found out about a trick that they probably should have left alone.
Hello, it's me, Mario.
And I want to thank you for choosing Mario Teaches Typing.
You thought the intro to Mario 64 was creepy? Check this out. What on earth is going on there? At least with Mario 64, they kept the model of his head proportioned well so that his mouth and eye movements were well balanced. This just looks like some insane kid with ADD used the cursor tool to grab Mario's bottom lip and is trying to lift it over his head. It just looks so unnatural. It's also worth noting that the former official voice of Mario, Charles Martinet, got his start voicing Mario in these educational games. And given how this abomination looks, I'm amazed they ever asked him back.
You're gonna be having this like real-time animation system, which we don't know whether it's gonna work or not, but you'll have these points glued to your face, and when you move your face and move your mouth, that's gonna make the cartoon character move. I don't wanna do something, if I'm gonna be talking to people, that's gruff and mean to them, you know, or could be sort of like scary to children.
I guess it's a testament to how good a voice can make you look past a creepy visual.
Doesn't work the other way round, I think.
Huck?
Okie dokie. Now we go to the advanced level.
Watch out for falling rock.
How any kid didn't have PTSD flashbacks from looking at a keyboard in the future is beyond me. Actually, maybe we should give this game to boomers who do nothing but complain about things online all day. Then they'll turn off the computer and actually do something else for a change. And evidently this thing was memorable enough to many that this year there was a fan-made sequel which, well, let's just say, took things a little bit too far.
Mario want to tell you a joke. What's black and blue and red all over?
What?
A corpse! Ha!
I'm feeling... Oh, nope. No matter what I type. Death, yep. Vile, worst.
Yes, I love these words.
Sickening.
Never trust cute mascots. They are secretly trying to take over the world.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are. I saw your secret plans under your bed. Well, it was under your mum's bed after I fell out of it.
You will be the first that I destroy.
Seriously, what is that? So we're going all the way down to Australia for this next one, and an ad for Ski Yogurt, the posh person's choice for dairy diarrhea. Of course, we all know Ski Yogurt isn't as nice as we think it is. Tell it, Hugh. Although you won't need the yogurt to loosen your bowels after seeing this thing.
Food, glorious food. Wow! Yogurt? Now, just a sec. Yogurt was never in my contract.
Yeah, I'm sticking to eating out of trash cans. At least there you don't need a spoon.
But you do need a bib.
Screw you.
But yeah, the design of this thing is terrifying. The bad 90s CGI is bad enough, but the way it looks like its lips are constantly puckered and it has the intense eyes of a killer, it makes it look like the T-1000 was trying to impersonate Buffalo Bill from Silence of the Lambs but got stuck halfway and this is what it ended up as. And the accent coming from its mouth, I'm sorry, that just makes it even more creepy. Mick Taylor from Wolf Creek was less threatening than this.
So thick, smooth, and creamy.
Keep away from me, you strawberry soup slurping Sir Sob.
Nice alliteration there.
Now I can't stop saying F-words.
Frankly, if the tagline of this ad is true, then this is how yogurt should be, then I'll stick to clogging my arteries with cheese, since the last thing I want is this scary silver spoon in my mouth. Personally, after watching this, I take up the philosophy those kids had in The Matrix.
There is no spoon.
Because maybe then the nightmares would go away. So now we need something to wash that stuff down. Seriously, yogurt stays in the throat forever if you don't have a drink afterwards. And what better one to do that with Orangina.
Huh, I always thought it was pronounced Orangina.
Get your mind out of the gutter, Huck.
Look who's talking now, pot.
Orangina is basically the more fancy version of Fanta. Less sugar, more carbonation, and all swimming in plenty of pulp.
Ugh, get that shit away from me. Pulp is the filth of citrus nature.
For someone who is orange, you're shockingly harsh to your brethren.
Guess it'd be like you looking down on eggs.
So people recommended these ads for me to look at, and I had a look at one. And at first I didn't think much of it, it just looks like Gazelle from Zootopia on a swing. But then this happens.
You're looking good now. Let me feel your soul. Don't be shy.
Oh my god.
What are you complaining about? I would have thought you'd love stuff like this. Aren't you always talking about anthro stuff?
Yes, but there's anthro stuff that works, like this, and then stuff that doesn't, like this. On the plus side, it's nice to see more attention given to animals that don't often get shown in Fur Affinity, like flamingos and octopi. Well, unless you live in Japan, of course. The designs are bad enough, but the combination of the bad renders and the choppy motion for the animation just makes it all the more unsettling. This feels like a fever dream I'd have after mixing Orangina with absinthe while playing Hightail Hall. Big points to anyone who knows what that is.
And big fingers pointing out that George finally admitted he's a pervert.
Whatever. At this point, there's very few pornographic lines I've not crossed. The problem now is finding something that does excite me, which this certainly does not. This ad also goes on forever, and each second something more insane happens. The bear does a recreation of the Tunnel of Butts from Shake It Off, the gazelle homages Flashdance. Which I have to say, washing all that out of the fur would be a nightmare. That stuff is sticky as hell. We see chameleons dancing, badly proportioned pandas doing a Janet Jackson, and then it finally ends on this creepy slogan. I know that many people have probably done things while watching this video at night, and I'm sure the comments on it will be like driving into the mind of the world's biggest pervert.
So, your mind.
Shut up. But the only true question I have is, how the hell is this supposed to make people drink more Orangina? If I saw this when it came out, I'd be thinking how much fur must be in the bottle if this is how they make it. Still, if they made Mountain Dew like this, then maybe that would make it taste better.
There's also a similar ad for Rubicon Spring Water, which is also terrifying in its own right, mostly in how I'm really concerned about how an orange can have abs. Guess that's more pulp you don't like.
I more so take away how something as rotund and soft as that still has better abs than you.
Shut up.
So let's get into a product whose ads dominated the airwaves between 2008 and 2012. Lynx, or Axe if you live stateside.
Was it called that because of how much the stuff teenagers put on the high school locker rooms felt like an axe to your sinuses?
More or less. Since this product is still around and still popular, I don't really need to introduce it, but some of their ads you may need to refresh yourself on. For a long time, Lynx/Axe's marketing gimmick was that using it would make you so attractive to women that they'd fall at your feet and have sex with you, no question. In reality, wearing it was basically the equivalent of having a name tag on at all times that said sad, pathetic virgin on it.
Not that you'd need it. People can tell that from looking at you straight away.
But anyone who watched TV around this time knew these ads through and through, though a few of them did try to be somewhat self-aware or more funny about it, though that did result in a few off-putting elements, like this ad for Lynx dark chocolate scent. That face. I'm amazed the women still want to go for him when he looks like a mix between young Russell Howard and an American news anchor with bad Botox.
The only way this guy could be more creepy is if you saw him coming towards you and you were lactose intolerant.
It doesn't help that the women through the ad are literally trying to eat him. I guess their logic is they eat him before he gets a chance to eat them. And I don't mean in the downstairs fashion. Could you imagine how long it would take to clean all that chocolate out of the bush? It'd be like a rhododendron in November. Also, are we sure his penis even works, or does it just look like a massive Toblerone?
Well, it does have nuts in it.
Boo! In any case, with Lynx/Axe no longer at its peak in advertising, we can be happy we'll never have to see horrors like this again, as if the milk tray man wasn't creepy enough.
Da 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 da.
Leave it, Huck. So let's discuss the king of cuteness underlining terror and chaos, besides Huck. Kirby. As I've said in previous videos, video game ads are the epitome of insane and just bizarre frights, and fittingly, Kirby is no exception to that. There was that one really creepy ad of Kirby going on a date with a finger for Canvas Curse.
Not the first person to give Kirby the finger, I'm sure.
Poor guy, he has no fingers, so he can't do it back.
I know, that's what's so perfect. It's like kicking a man with no legs.
You're sick, Huck. But I think there's one even more messed up than that, is the ad for Kirby's Pinball Land for the original Game Boy. To begin with, this is already a bit unsettling in the fact that they're using Kirby's original design, which was very disproportionate, with his tiny face in the middle of his giant body.
Just like you!
Shut up! But on top of that, this is probably the most unsettling amount of abuse that Kirby has ever gone through. He's battered, he's bashed, he's squashed, and he does not look happy. This is the sort of thing Kirby does to other people. You've totally switched it around. Something as cute and seemingly innocent as Kirby should not be treated this badly.
So, by that logic, I won't ever get beaten up by you?
I'll find a loophole somehow.
Does that make you my King DDD?
Hell no, I'm more like Meta Knight.
Yeah, right. With all the cheese you eat, you're more like Feta Knight.
At least it's better than being Lonely Homer. That being said, this is hardly the weirdest thing Kirby has ever done in an ad, since in the UK he once met the legend himself, Rick Mail.
So, Kirby, you've become a big star because of this.
The fabulous multi-level platform game based on your life, Kirby's Dream Land from Nintendo.
So, Kirby, is it true that if you don't like someone, you swallow them, spit them out and destroy them? This is pot of lunch, Mr. Kirby.
And with that mentioned, I have to do this joke.
Put it on blow! Put it on blow!
You dirty, dirty bastard!
If you don't laugh at that, you're clinically dead.
I didn't laugh.
Or the spawn of Satan. So let's end off on yet another drink that you can normally only find in the back of corner shops, and to intro it, I think this clip does it best.
What was it?
Taiser.
We got bottom all over the place today. Oh yes, time to talk the truth about Taiser. How I can't stop tying T-turds. Taiser, even when it was popular, wasn't exactly the most liked drink. Didn't help that it tasted and looked like drinking the blood of a cocaine addict, and had ads that looked like it was made by one too. I mean, just look at this.
Taiser, sponsor CD UK.
So there is something scarier than seeing Zool in your fridge. I've mentioned this before, but decapitated heads that are still alive really freak me out, and this probably stems from the childhood trauma of seeing, well, you know. What made it all the more insane is that these ads were often shown around the same time Art Attack was on. So it was like some sort of Clockwork Orange experiment in keeping my sanity, where I'd be looking at the head, then Taiser, then the head, then Taiser, then blood from bashing my head against the wall to get the images to go away.
Oh, sorry, that was me. Couldn't find an anvil that day to temper my steel on, so I decided to use something just as hard.
Then again, maybe I'm wrong. Perhaps this was all just a failed first attempt to preserve the heads in jars from Futurama. Either that or when they saved Hitler's brain, he suddenly went through a major personality change, and got a shave and a haircut.
2 bits.
What? I should point out that most of these ads were for CDTV, the companion show to SMTV where Ant and Dec got their start, that was shown on weekends on CITV. Even after the channel's been dead for 2 years, I can still bash them in these videos. And from seeing this, is it any surprise that I preferred to watch this on the other side? No, it isn't. Though that being said, modern ads aren't exactly any better these days.
Accepted.
Can my Tesco Club card keep the spawn of Melina away from me? If I buy one, will you stop showing these ads, Tesco? In any case, I think that's us done for this video. Shall we get ready for the Halloween party?
Wait, what? It's November. Why would there still be Halloween parties?
Oh, come on. Like you'd ever pass up an opportunity to have free candy and scare the shit out of people. Hell, that's a Friday night for you. So let's get to it and put on some fancy outfits.
Okay, it's not the most flashy outfit for this year, but I still think it works.
Mine's much more flashy. I'm Huckman.
I prefer Duckman, much funnier. But there's only one thing left to say.
Happy Halloween!